singing happy birthday to you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. He needs a pen. My pens are gonna take a lot.
Do that after the meeting.
That's what I said last time and I forgot.
I'm not letting them go till it's signed.
Okay,
I got within 10 minutes of the top of last chance alley, but I haven't heard that much.
okay.
Because, you know, being late is not enough.
Dave, we put you in timeout. Yeah,
I will.
yeah.
Like, happy New Year.
Mhm, yeah.
More kids than grown-ups.
No, it's gonna clear out at 7:15.
It's 7 o'clock there.
Okay. Okay, everybody, at 7 o'clock, the meeting is called to order. And with that, we are ready for Hendrix Carter, who's going to lead us tonight. Hendrix.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
of God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bob Hendrick.
Okay, everyone, this is Hendrix's birthday month, so happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hendrix.
Happy birthday to you.
Well done. Thank you. Okay, Dave.
Hi, Mayor. Hendricks, thank you for that. We will now move to roll call our city council meeting beginning on the 16th of January, 2025, commencing at 7 o'clock. Mayor Staples,
Here.
council members, Ambrosselli. Present. Bragstad,
Here.
Cheryl. Here. All right, Mayor, you have a quorum. You're ready to proceed.
Thank you. Item 4 tonight is to seat our new city council members. They have folders with their certificate of election, and our city clerk, Joyce Davison, is going to administer the oath of office. So Holly, if you come join Nico and Susan.
Do we stand?
You do.
Susan and Nico will stand along with Holly. Yeah, everybody ready? So you raise your right hand and then repeat after me and then you say your name and then we go on from there. So I
Susan Burns.
do solemnly swear or affirm
We solemnly swear or affirm.
that I will support and defend the Constitution
That I will support and defend the Constitution
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
The United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I
And
will bear
bear true faith and allegiance.
to the Constitution of the United States
The Constitution of the United States.
and the Constitution of the State of California,
And the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
That I will
well
faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties on which I'm about to.
Okay. So we have things for you to sign here. Let's see,
That's.
Holly,
Nico.
you sign right here. And then, sign there. And Nico, you sign here and then back here. And Susan, you sign, here and and the bottom page.
Okay.
Okay. You have a pen, Nico?
Thank you.
Probably not my best side back there.
Okay, then okay.
Thank you, Holly.
You don't wait.
I'll be here for a little bit in case there's questions.
Okay, thanks. Yes. Thank you. Here, Joyce.
Okay, this is your copy, Nico.
Thank you. Bye, buddy.
Okay.
This was your copy, Susan. I know you treasure it. Where did Holly do she?
We'll be down to one person now. Two people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We cleared the.
The heat will kick off in a minute. Then we're still on seating city council members. As those of you can see, Joyce, our city clerk, is here tonight, but there are 4 city council members. We do have a vacancy. We're getting it on the record tonight. We have 72 hours to post a letter inviting interested parties to submit a letter of interest. That will be posted tomorrow. It will be on our city website and copies will be available here in City Hall. Thank you. Item 5, approval of city council regular meeting agenda for tonight, 16th of January, 2024. There is one substitution. There's an updated committee assignment sheet for 10B, but there are no changes to the agenda. Is there a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
So motion by Braxton, second by Cheryl. We'll do roll call vote. Nico?
Aye.
Susan?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
And Sandy, aye, it's passed. It's approved as it's submitted. Number 6 on the agenda tonight is public comment. Under provisions of California Code, citizens wishing to address the council for any matter not on the agenda may do so at this time. Please state your name and city of residence or group affiliation for the record and limit comments to 5 minutes or less. Is there any public comment tonight? No. With that, we'll close public comment and move on. Presentations, proclamations, item 7, just are in our agendas, the letter inviting Hendricks to do the pledge tonight. Item 8, consent calendar items. All matters listed under consent calendar are to be considered routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless before council votes on the motion to adopt, members of the council, staff, or public request an item to be discussed separately. The 2 items tonight are regular meeting agenda minutes from December and the financial report. Is there a motion to either address one of them at a time or to approve both of them as they are presented?
I'll move to approve both. Presented.
Motion submitted by Bragstead, seconded by Ambrosselli. We'll do roll call vote. Nico?
Aye.
Susan?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Staples, aye. Motion is approved, so they are adopted. Thank you, Holly. Regular agenda items. The first is Amador City Park Improvements Project. In order to submit the paperwork for reimbursement, which is all ready to go, we need to submit a notice of completion to the county offices, and that requires a resolution authorizing city council and our clerk to prepare that notice of completion. So the resolution submitted tonight is just authorizing the certification of the completion. And the resolution was an attachment in the packet. Is there any discussion tonight on the resolution?
No.
That would be the first item in here.
Oh, okay, I'm getting there.
Okay. Wait for Susan. Minute. I'm gonna give you numbers on yours from now on.
7A.
This would be 10A.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, need to look that over, or does it look okay?
I've already looked at it.
Okay.
But I'm tired of motioning.
Oh, okay. We're waiting for someone else to do a motion to approve the resolution number 634.
I'll move.
Okay. Move that we approve the-
Okay, Cheryl moves to
Second.
second by Ambrosselli. We'll do roll call vote. Nico?
Aye.
Susan?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Staples, aye. Motion is, the resolution is approved. Item 10B are city council assignments of 2025, and that is, I put a revised one in the front of the binders. I think I did. Okay, and I'm just going to review that briefly. All things are tentative, and I mean, they can be changed, but as they stand right now, just for the record, we start with external committees, the Amador Regional Sanitation Agency, and Bruce, you're going to continue that since it's in the process of dissolving. Amador Air District is open at this point, and Bruce, I'm wondering if you would be, I didn't have a chance to talk to you, willing to step in for AFRA. Either that or LAFCO. Right now, you're alternate for LAFCO. Nothing like being on the record and on the spot, right?
I can do whatever needs to be done.
Thank you. And then that is the Amador County Recreation Agency. The next is Amador County Transportation Commission. And I've been doing that with Susan as the alternate, and we'll continue that. LAFCO, the Local Area Formation Commission. I will do that with Bruce as the alternate. And we may switch that role as it gets going. Fire Safe Council, I know Nico, you have things to report on that later in the meeting. Nico is going to sit in on that for us, especially given everything that's happened in Southern California. I think this is going to be an important one for us to be represented on. Homeless Task Force is open at the moment. The Bicycle Path Advisory Committee, Susan, you're going to continue in that one. Local Hazard Mitigation Planning, and that is just for this 1 year. That is Dave and I are doing that process with the county. The city-specific committees, Sutter Creek Fire Protection District, Dave is going to be responsible. That is our bulldog, again, anticipating that with what's going on in Southern California.
Right.
The Sewer Committee, Susan and Bruce are going to be continuing with that. The liaisons to historical city properties who have boards of directors. Bruce, you're already with the museum, so it's a good double cap to wear there. Cemetery, we'll see what happens. And we have two oversight committees. One is the historical city properties. It's a 1 year oversight organization. And these are in the process of being developed. That's why those names are in italics at this point. They may be shifted depending upon whether we get, in a short amount of time, a 5th council member. Administrative bodies, design review, Susan, and I'm joining you on that one. Thank you. Maintenance, Dave, it's under his umbrella. permits, city property management, again, under Dave, our city administrator, and the CIRA, our California Intergovernmental Risk Authority, Dave. Okay, those sound good for how we start the year? All right, thank you all for that indulgence. And fire 10C, fire mitigation, discussion and possible action by motion and vote of city council regarding the removal of the dead and dying conifers that are adjacent to City Hall here. This is, up for discussion, possible action. And again, we had that property really handled beautifully, being cleared of the brush and ready for, stepping up for fire mitigation. But those trees are just ready to explode if there's any spark anywhere. So we have any discussion about that or getting bids for that?
Well, I mean, if we could get them cut down,
Mhm.
would Sutter Creek Fire come over with their chipper and
I
chip?
will, so, I mean, here's the deal, I know this is a little unorthodox. They're not that big, they're not the point that we couldn't handle it in-house. Like, I'm more than happy to bring my chainsaw over and just cut them up. If the city wants to do that, if we wanna put it out for bid and have a licensed bonded contractor come and do it. I mean, we're covered if I do it, we're covered if they do it. We can also, and there is the chance that we have some mitigation money through CIRA. Just because it's a new year, I don't know if we want to necessarily spend it on that. But these are the options that you have before you as a council.
Are you saying you'll fell them as well as
Yeah,
cut them up?
Yep,
Are there any?
because again, I looked at them and there's no potential, the reason why I offer that as a citizen, not as a city administrator, but as a citizen. And I'll sign the waiver, I'll do all that. There's no potential of falling on any structure because of where they're situated. I wouldn't normally say that, but my thought is we could make that a potentially small community project. Where we just cut it up and then haul it off. It is, again, it's just cheap pine. I don't know that anybody necessarily wants it to burn. But I have access to it. I don't have access to a chipper, but we have a splitter. And if we want to split it and donate the wood to the Wood Angels, I'm more than happy to be in part of that process. I just want to put that out there to you as a community and as council.
Does that include the big, I call them digger, but foothill pines?
Those are the ones we're talking about, right?
Well, there's a dead cedar right here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's
All of the
three.
conifers.
The only one we wouldn't touch is the one that's possibly gonna go over electrical lines,
Sure.
that's closer to the street. That would, we really need PG&E or an arborist to handle that.
Right,
Ian can help you. If it ends up that you're doing it, he can come over and be your,
I'm just thinking that's a Thursday or a Saturday for me. If I'm not involved in city meetings, I can just come and do it.
Mhm.
And I can help too.
Mhm.
I don't mind.
Mhm.
And the reason why I throw that out there is because we've essentially had this discussion 18 times. And we've left it to Dominic, and while we appreciate and value every bit of service that he provides the city, his guys are just too busy and it just isn't getting done.
Mhm.
So.
Can we do one and see how it goes?
Sure.
Mhm. So is that,
Sounds good to me.
so is that the first step you'd like us to look at, is doing it that way?
Yeah.
Do we need a motion on this? Okay, then that's just
Let's just
our
do it.
next step
Yeah.
and see how
The
it
reason why I
goes.
say that is because we've motioned this to death.
We have,
So.
okay. So
Just let me know when you're.
we'll put it on the city website and get a special, thing out, see who shows up.
Sure.
Okay. So that's an end of 10C, 10D. And we, putting it on the website does work in terms of getting people who are available on whatever
Sure.
day it is. So we'll get some help.
We'll probably end up doing a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Weather's good. We're not expecting any rain, so.
I also think if we put on the statement, as you said, splitting and donating to the Wood Angels,
Right.
that will pull people out too.
Okay.
Good idea. So 10D, Form 700, discussion only, that we all need to go online and submit that and print a copy for Joyce for the records here in City Hall.
Question, I did mine, I think I saved a PDF copy, can I email you PDF and can you print it yourself first?
yeah, you can.
Yep, sounds fine. Thanks, Pat.
when I did it, I wasn't aware that that she needed a copy right. I sent it right, I just mailed it off right there.
Yeah. Joyce, she likes to have all the files thorough.
Good thing.
It is.
Dot the i's, cross the t's.
Then she knows that we've all done it. Yeah. So with that, we're at the end of the regular agenda and we're on to administrative reports and comments. These will be city council member reports, including updates on council committees. And I know, Nico, you've got one.
Yeah, it's a short update. I did attend the fire safety meeting, and looks like they're publishing some new maps online on their website and resources. I checked them out. I can share them with the group via email. And they just had kind of some technical issues. So the meeting was really short. Obviously, the fire in Southern California came up. They're unsure whether or not it's gonna benefit us because maybe it'll draw more attention to funding, but then it could also draw attention away from rural
Yeah.
committees, and so they're a little bit worried that it's gonna actually draw resources away. So really inconclusive. Aside from the map update, I'm still just doing research on the committee and just
Getting
figuring
settled.
out, what they're doing. So
Do they need, did just technical thing, did you announce yourself as from Amador
I
City?
did, yeah.
Okay, great. And so
Yeah.
that's just fine. They've got you on their email list and all that.
I need to probably get on their email list because I just jumped on the call on it and kind of introduced myself. But yeah, they were aware I was on the call.
Okay, if, so you can then say that, you're on city council, Amador City, representing city of Amador City, and that will put you up in their attention list a little bit.
Okay.
They'll be sure to email you.
Okay, yeah, I definitely want to get on their email list. And then they have like these people that are designated like liaisons for their committee. And
Yes.
I think it'd be good to have one in the city. I don't think we have anyone in the city.
No.
So that might be one area where we could improve a little bit and actually have someone that's versed on the topics and it's an advocate for what they're trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, now, Anna knows a lot about that, and
Okay.
and she works with them, and so she may be a good person for us to pull in. Let her know that we'll be in touch. Thank you. Okay, that'd be great. Susan, anything to report? Or did you have anything else, Nico? I'm sorry.
No, not.
Okay.
No,
Susan?
I'm fine.
Okay, nothing to report tonight?
What's that?
Nothing to report tonight? Your committees, anything, BPAC, anything?
We haven't met in a while.
I think you're meeting on Monday.
EPAC.
Yeah.
Not this Monday,
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Week after this. Yeah. Yeah, we forgot the holiday. Okay, Bruce.
Arsa did meet today,
Whoa.
but nothing really happened. It was basically a review
Mhm.
from last year. So-
Okay,
So nothing exciting there.
well done.
It's still going on.
Okay. Okay.
Ursa?
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, I have a few things. One is that we've lost a small herd of deer in the past 2 months on that little stretch of old Highway 49 leaving town. And somebody in the community kind of said, can we get some deer crossing signs? And Larry White and I have consulted on this, and yes, we can. And so we're going to be walking on Monday morning where to place them, one on each side of the road in terms of deer crossing signs. We're also going to look for a spot for our 25-mile-per-hour sign to get it put back up properly, one on each side of the road. I know that will make you happy, Susan.
Yeah.
And we're looking at an additional 15-mile-per-hour sign for the west side of the street, because that's what people will see first as they come around that corner before they get to the official 15-mile-per-hour. So we're considering that. He also brought up stenciling in the street with the thermoplastic. So that may be a less expensive. The speed limits, 25-mile-per-hour here, 15-mile-per-hour there. He's going to price it out versus the signage, stenciling it in the road.
Oh,
So either way, but Larry's going to give us some information on that. We'll be doing that in the next month. I like that because it's visible that city council is actually doing something. because a lot of what we do is behind the scenes. So this will be nice to have those up and may slow traffic a little bit for the safety of all involved. The kickoff meeting for the community advisory for the historic properties, the management of that donation from Claudine is going to have its first meeting on the 24th, and that will be really nice. Our agenda includes the purpose, and I think all committees, all of our city committees should have this. What's the purpose of this committee? If we can't define the purpose, then it may not be a committee we need, which is why we have 2 committees and nobody representing in the top part. There's not a real reason. We need a purpose, kind of work on the guideline, and that's what this committee will be doing initially. Tomorrow, that notice of completion, the park reimbursement money will be, request will be sent in.
Good.
Yes, I know you'll be happy on that. Last year, in Ann's State of the City address, and I did not do a formal thing like that, but I read it over and looked at the things she had done as priorities for 2024, sort of passing it on as we changed, chieftain hats here as mayors. And I was really, we accomplished quite a bit this year. We might think, what did we do? Well, we really did quite a bit. And I just want to go over so you can all feel like, yes, we did do some really good things for the city. The park was completed. We found maintenance. We're submitting the reimbursement paperwork tomorrow. That was one of the agenda items she had as a priority for last year. Another one was updating the short-term rental permit application to align with ordinance and muni code. Dave and I did that. In addition to that, Dave and I also did the update of the special event permit to align with the city ordinances. So we're gradually getting things caught up to speed. She had down past Measure K. We did that. So again, that was a big one, and that was passed. And under that, she had a bunch of bullets about the steps, that you complete, and we are making progress on those. That is a slow process. It goes through the state government. So we're doing that.
Now,
Another-
Measure K is
The
the
roads,
200,000
yes.
a year. Are we developing a list of every year what we want to do?
That Dave and I are meeting with Weber Gio in 2 weeks, 10 days. And we're going over the cost analysis that they have updated for Main Street. And that will be then looked at in segments with regard to, there has to be engineering, there has to be this, there has to be that. And then there's this section we could do. All of that has to be broken down and submitted. So we are doing that. That makes sense?
And other
Mhm.
streets too.
We are going to be looking at other funding for a lot of the smaller streets. We might be lucky that this amount. Mhm.
You think 200,000 for 10 years just pays for Main Street?
If we're lucky,
If we're lucky,
Really?
if we're lucky.
Wow.
yeah,
It's really expensive to pave a street.
it is. And we want
And
to
striping is expensive.
striping, and we want to include pedestrian safety measures depending upon what is feasible within the confines of the whole Measure K booklet, which is only about that big. Yeah, it's quite a process.
Yeah,
Yes. But it's working.
good.
Good. To establish an EV charger, done. Good job, Bruce. Work with the county on the speed study for the top of Highway 49. That was done. And I need to follow through because the signs were not changed. They're still reading 55 and the speed study indicated 50 miles per
50,
hour.
mhm.
Mhm. So I will do that. Work with the insurance and Weber Gio to rehabilitate old grammar school. Yes, that is going on. And we owe Larry and Dave kudos because we got a lot more in that rehabilitation than they were originally the insurance company was coming forward saying they would do. So well done. And Larry deserved, laurels and a crown, tiara. Mhm.
Have we gotten any bids?
It's out for bid right now.
Yeah,
We had 3 contractors come.
yeah.
I did visit with Larry today. 2 of the contractors have been very proactive in asking questions and asking for follow-up. It does appear, our bids close on the 28th, so we'll have knowledge of who's actually going to bid at that point. At this point, we're being positive, projecting that all 3, as soon as bids close, then we, of course, we'll go through that process. It is likely at this point that construction could start on this building about April 15th.
So. Good job. Here, I have lifesavers. Another item Ann had was the Bike Path Advisory Committee, to continue participation emphasizing bike and pedestrian safety and minimizing liability along that walking road that people use. Good job, Susan. So it's moving along. Second resolution for that coming up.
Right.
Now, of the things ongoing that will continue, to keep the city, I'm adding this, to keep the city fiscally sound, budget is balanced with funds for what is needed and is still conservative, and we'll take the kudos home to Holly on that one. She's managed our finances well and working together with me to come up with a budget each year that has money allocated to what we need, and estimates are staying within what we projected with minor things, but then we're doing well on that one. Looking forward to the report from the audit and then implementing the recommendations that they might have. We're in a holding pattern. Anne had some issues down with the sewer that's a holding pattern till more is known about what the dissolution will do and the impact on fees. One of the things that Dave and I talked briefly about today is raising fees now and then finding out from Sutter Creek we have to raise again. That would be bad. We need to kind of do things once rather than once and then 3 months later once again. That would make me angry. So
The next fee rate would be $94 instead of 91.
that would be dependent completely on Sutter Creek, what we do.
Well, at this point, that information is not
I
necessarily
didn't
valid
say.
to the way the council voted. So just to let the council know, we're in the planning, the mayor and I, to figure out what information's needed to bring that to the council, which includes, I know one of the concerns for the sewer is like cost versus profits and how that factoring out. There's a lot that goes into that necessarily isn't necessarily known. That's all information that we'll be bringing to the council, which again, we're gonna rely on our sewer committee for some of that information. But others too, when it comes to like the fee structure, we're gonna have to determine that based upon the rate study we did before. And again, renewing that if it needs to be. And so again, I will be reaching out to that entity to see what they need in order to move forward. At one point, they were more than willing to help again. We just need to follow up and see where they're at. So, but to Sandy's point, the most important part is any rate structure, any change requires a 218 to go to the people. And so if we're gonna follow a prescribed thing that was kind of talked about, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do one at this juncture and then turn around and have ARSA make its decision. Again, we've never been this close to where ARSA's at now. We've been warned about it in the past that it was coming. It's just prudent for the city to stay where they're at if we can fiscally meet the needs, and then we can hold out. And there's also the potential too, that we can encumber funds that belong to the city already to meet some of that burden that fee increase was supposed to impose upon the ratepayer anyway.
That will be an agenda item and we'll be able to have more discussion on that. Okay, but I know it's on everybody's mind. Yeah. Okay.
Right. The point, maybe I should have summed up. The point is, there'll be ongoing public discussions before anything happens. So it won't be something that just simply the council decides on and then it happens over.
And they get a bill.
Well, I thought we approved
We did not.
a rate increase.
You did one. And then locked it in at that with a revisit as needed.
Oh.
Yeah. We did. It was so long ago. One of the things is getting up to date with MuniCode agenda packets on the city website, and it's going to be a priority for me to get that done. I said that last year. I'll say it again. There's lots of work left to be done on Measure K, so that will be ongoing. And given the circumstances in Southern California, staying on top of fire mitigation and all of those issues. So thank you all very much for that. I want to point out that one of the things just informational in your agenda, that was an extra handout today. Ian checked the status and marked on a map the location of all the hydrants in town, sort of being proactive in that. And I thought, that was worth sharing. So that's in packets, just informational. And really, it was a really nice map. It's good to know where they are. And so that's there. And to all of you, we are a very small city. We're a small footprint. We're small in population. We're often forgotten within the county. And council members serve on many county agency boards and commissions and committees. And in part, that's to do the work of our city, represent our citizens and do the work for our residents. And in part, it's to keep Amador City active within the county and have us be a visible presence, reminding Board of Supervisor and other decision makers that we are viable and not to be overlooked. And so thank you all for that, because it's extra duty for everybody, and appreciate that. And thank you all. And with that, City Administrator, you've kind of offered a lot. Anything else to add?
The only thing I offer is that I sat on the TAC committee today, so it has to do with parks, so ACTC. I think that's right. It was it's ACRA.
You're in
It
Acra,
was ACRA today.
the Recreation
Yeah.
Agency.
What it is they had all the city managers, and including the superintendent or interim superintendent of schools today. So apparently there is legacy money that they squirreled in an account, forgot that it was there. And now it needs to be spent by their own rules and regulations, including additional monies. What it is in 2017, that committee did a nexus study where they had different parks and agencies across the county submit projects. Those projects totaled $31 million in 2017. And so of course they created a list of priorities. Yeah, I think they have about 1.3 million of that 31. And so now they're asking that we go back as a city, and all cities come back and with an updated list, and then look at what we would like to submit, excuse me, and potentially update that nexus study with that. So I have a meeting next month. I'll be working on that. I just thought it would be interesting to inform the council when I went through that nexus study, ironically of all days today, when we actually complete our park project right here. That was the project that Amador City had submitted in 2017, which is completed. And so we didn't see the numbers that were projected in those days. Didn't even come close to what it cost us.
Yeah.
And so again, I have the concern that even though they have this money, we're small, it may not benefit any of us. But again, we will make sure that Amador City is at the table and is represented if there is something we can do. So the reason why I bring that up also is to the council, to the public, if there are park projects or things with Amador City, you don't have to do it now, of course, but get with me and let me know what those are. And then I can get with the mayor and we can prioritize those things for my meeting next month.
Cuthbert Park.
Colbert.
I'm gonna put a TH in there. I know, Colbert. What do you think?
I'm sorry, I was looking at this map.
I'll throw you in. Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Okay,
But that's all I have to add tonight.
okay, good. Well, we will be thinking about anytime there's some money, it'd be nice. Yeah. City Attorney report, Pat.
Items this evening.
Okay. Requests for future agenda items.
Yeah, I guess I have a couple comments. The first comment is that I guess this probably could have been earlier in the reports, but I think it would be good to review our emergency response system. Given how LA has failed to have a system that's reliable. I know the county provides one. I'm signed up for it. I've never gotten an alert for it.
Well, yeah, I think citizens are, and you're the first contact for Amador City within, the sheriff's office. It goes to Dave.
There's a whole,
Uh-huh.
we can meet. I can share the
Okay.
information they've shared with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a whole and actually, I believe the sheriff's deputy that's over it, the Cal
Mr.
was,
Gurdon?
yeah, it lives right here.
Yeah.
So
okay,
it's funny, we have all these things in place, we just never talk about them.
yeah,
So we have the deputy that lives right here, and then we actually have a member of the fire department that lives up here on the hill.
Mhm.
And Dominic has shared with me, he's the first priority contact for Amador City. And then it might be time again, given what's happened in LA, to have Chief Moreno actually come visit with us, but they did share with us a couple years ago, based upon where they're stationed, what they're doing, their response time is 4 minutes to ambulance.
Mhm.
So, and then the other part that goes along with that, because I know there's been a lot of discussion in LA County about water and resources, we're actually updating Amador City's water hydrant system this year with a project, which will increase the pressure that we have. So
Mhm.
things are in place, but it just isn't necessarily something we talk about.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So
I just think it's a good time to review like the alert system, just so if people can be tipped off early and that they're all signed up, and we do an outreach and make sure that everybody's enrolled, their phone number, their email, or whatever it is. And so if there was an emergency, we could just send out an alert.
Right.
And that they would
Yeah,
get.
what we can do is draft something, or if you want to draft it, but I can draft it as well, and
Okay.
have Christine post it on the website. And
Absolutely.
send it out to you and people on the info line. We have had the sign up postcards here for several months. I don't know if we had them here before you were sworn in initially, but this was something in another agenda thing too. But you're right, we don't reach everybody, we reach the people who come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we
So-
should do like at least a campaign or something, really basic, just be a flyer down at the post office or something that just.
we do that. The other thing, it's been a while. I know we had a few years ago,
Mhm.
we had an individual who set multiple fires just over the hill over
Yeah.
here. And luckily, our neighboring community members in Bunker Hill, they saw it, they were alerted to it, they got. Fire was on it immediately, it was put out.
And then he lit it again. and
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that, I
Yeah,
remember
it's
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
With that, we did a door to door just to kind of check on everybody.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And it's been a while since we've done that. That may be something too, that as a community, we want to just kind of figure out who's here, who's moved.
Mhm.
Just introduce ourselves, so, you
That's
know, but
not a
again,
bad idea.
the good idea is we may have individuals. I'm thinking Amber City who got those cards, because everybody got the card from the county, but
Mhm.
they may not know how to do it on their phone, you know,
Right.
and we could sit.
Susan,
I don't-
one.
I don't know how to do it.
yeah, we gotta enroll Susan, we gotta make sure, we gotta make sure she's on the list.
So, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So that got me thinking, the other thing is, I think like, I'd like to present something next meeting to, maybe waive some fees for short-term rentals that are, the city fees around, if they're involving helping people that were affected by the fire and
Are
maybe
there?
housing people. I've heard a couple of cases. I don't know that anyone's actually, ended up coming up here, but I think it would be good just to like make an offer, or at least have it available for people if they did want to stay in the city at a hotel or an Airbnb. I don't think we should be collecting fees on them.
Which fees are you like the TOT?
Short term, yeah, just short term, like,
Well, we don't that's the thing, we don't really manage the short term, other than there's the TOT tax
yeah, no,
that's paid. Our only involvement with any short term is the business license fee for the year.
okay. So maybe there's not much else we could do,
Mhm.
or if anyone else has any other ideas about how we might be able to,
Mhm.
help. The
It's a
effective-
percentage of the charge, right? And if they don't charge anything, then there's no TOT. for
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's really not anything the city can, this would be probably something to go to the business association for and
Okay.
just remind Airbnb, they can, well, I don't know that they can do it either. Because it's all run through other platforms, we can't necessarily reach the proprietors.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
hard.
Yeah, it is just something to think about, you
Uh-huh.
know, like, I know that there were some families,
Mhm.
people that were affected, like, Juju's one of them, like her parents lost their
Mhm.
house, and so they were thinking about coming up here and staying, and they were like looking for places to stay, and I think it'd be nice to have like some reduced friction or some, at least we shouldn't be like charging people. If we are, sounds like we're not, so that's good.
No, not the city, yeah.
Yeah,
It would be, brainstorm, okay.
yeah, just something to
Might
think
be
about
something
into
something
the
we
next
can look at.
session.
Mhm.
And then, I also want to present like the idea about starting a disaster fund. I mean, I don't think we have one. I was looking, and I think it would be good to just have something, a disaster fund. A lot of cities do have a disaster fund, even if it's not fire related, it could be other disasters, flood, chemical spill, and stuff like that. But I think it'd be good to at least have something earmarked. That's it.
Does anybody up here have one?
What's that?
Any other town, a disaster?
I don't know. I haven't done very much research on the other towns up here. I just started to kind of dig in, and then it is pretty common for cities. I just don't know the size, how much.
I know that looking at our budget, we don't necessarily have a dedicated fund to that, which may
Yeah.
be something to discuss whether or not the efficacy of doing that, but we do build into our various responsibilities, a bumper for the what if, it's just not one dedicated umbrella firm. That
Yeah.
would be something to pursue, just
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah, I think it'd be good to at least identify what the category would fall into that, like,
Fire, I think fire is our,
Fire's our biggest threat, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like everybody, but
Mhm.
when you look at Amador City, our creek is not Sierra fed. So when they get the disastrous rains, even in our county,
Mhm.
it affects Sutter Creek and Jackson, and our creek, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Has been able to keep its banks and not go over or cause damage, other than we've had some rock wall
Retaining
stuff,
walls, yeah.
but little stuff.
It's
But
come to
it
the
hasn't,
top.
yep, every time.
Yeah.
But it's been able to maintain its flow. We don't sit on an active fault line, so earthquakes are not likely. We don't have any major industry, so chemical spills other than our sewer plant might be the only thing, and of course, that's something that we're working on.
We do have. budget for
The
that.
one thing is fire, and of course, we're constantly working on it. Our biggest threat, I can tell you from my experience with our fire safety council and all that in the past, comes from without, not usually from within. And so then again, it's working with the neighbors, our partners in the community and the county to
Mhm.
do our best for mitigation there, so.
I think there's a lot of questions, among like where I'm at, the people talking about how we can mitigate more and what kind of ideas, like there's not very many vehicles for mitigation. We can kind of just, as neighbors, like be like, hey, you should cut your trees or whatever. But like, there's no way to enforce it or.
There is.
Yeah.
And what we need, we do have a resolution on that, and we do have, part of that is the work with the Sutter Creek Fire Protection District, which is, Dave is going to be our bulldog, because we were next on, they're the ones who go around and tag.
Right.
This property needs to have cleanup for
Remember us
fire
talking about
mitigation.
that a while ago. Yeah.
And we were next on the list, I believe, in August, and it's January. And fire season's passed, so our bulldog is gonna go in and get that, and if they do not clean that up, and if the city has to go in and do some mitigation and hire for that, then the cost is passed on to the
We
property.
do have the mechanism. I can just tell you, like, when I came on council in 2017, we were having this exact same discussion, and it was funny. One of the council members who's now not even in the city anymore had raised the issue of fire protection and how we dealt with it. And just ironically, they had proposed this new ordinance. And in preparation for that council meeting, I went into our actual ordinances. We had almost an identical ordinance already in the books.
Yeah.
And the council was amazed at the fact that we had it. And I thought, uh-oh, we're in trouble. We don't even know our own ordinances, right? But again, that discussion led to the very thing you're talking about. We've got the ordinance. What's the enforcement arm with that? And so it is our fire partners, which to Sandy's point, that's how we're gonna make that happen. The other part too is, like in 2017, we didn't have a planning department like we do now with Larry White. We have that now, and he's very good about enforcing those codes. Which again, if it's gonna come from within the city, it's probably gonna be something related to construction or mistakes in construction or electrical. And he's very good to enforce those rules and regulations. So again, I think it's one of those things, it's there, we're just not necessarily talking about it. So I don't think it's harmful to have those discussions.
No.
So that our public, so us as a council are informed, and that way we're not putting forth ordinances in duplication of what we already have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and council changes. Were you talking about Tim?
That wasn't it, Tim, it was
Okay.
Michael Brown.
Oh, okay. We're here for a short period, and so we don't know, except for Susan. The repository of historical knowledge and institutional knowledge. Yeah, or Dave, who's arced over several administrations, and we need that, we need that continuity factor, because we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you. I've got those down, and that's what everybody's focusing on now. Okay,
Yeah.
could be us.
Yeah,
Now what?
and there's a
Yeah.
lot of like properties that surround the city that aren't
Yeah.
in city limits that
Counties,
very heavily covered in trees and
I know.
overgrown green
And
it's
the
not a good
embers are
situation.
just waiting to come in here. I know. I agree. with
Even
you.
within the city limits.
Yeah, even
And,
with this,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So. I know it's gonna be, I think, an ongoing topic, and I think we're gonna hear more about it from the other entities in the county and the state.
Yeah, there's gonna be more
Yeah.
pressure
There will
for
be.
sure.
Joyce and I were talking about that today too. So any other agenda items? Thank you. Okay, no closed session at 8:47.
Yep.
What? 7:47. I'm on Arizona time. 7:47, a 47-minute city council meeting. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned. Nice to see you.
Yep.
So, y'all remember Mark?
The city does not decide the music for dancing in the